Shalom. Traditional teachings can blind our minds and put us in a fantasy fog world of religion. Even coming out of organized religion, some traditional teachings can still blind our minds today. Today, the traditional teachings of the Ten Commandments still blinds the believers today in all sections of religion. Rabbinic Judaism, Messianic Judaism, Hebrew roots, even in a Shaka Zulu spear-chucking racist occult, Ku Klux Klan with the tan, fake black Hebrews. So what's the primary title of the two tablets, the Ten Commandments? In Hebrew, Asereth Has-Devarim, which translated as 10 matters, 10 things, 10 words, or 10 verses, which are legitimate titles. But what's the primary title of the two tablets that all these legitimate titles fall under so we can understand? The primary title of the two tablets are in Exodus 32:15, the top 10 terms of Yehovah's blood covenant at Mount Sinai. Some Bible versions say the two tablets are the testimony of the covenant. Some other versions says they're the terms of the covenant, but both testimony and terms means the same thing. The terms of the covenant was written on the front side and the back side of the two tablets. The first side was the first 4 commandments of how we're supposed to love God, and the other side was the 6 commandments of how we're supposed to love our neighbors as ourselves. The Creator simplified His Torah to the top 10 terms of His blood covenant at Mount Sinai. However, it is the words in the Torah that gives us the details of how we're supposed to live and obey these commandments. Now we know the first 4 terms of the Creator's blood covenant at Mount Sinai of how we're supposed to love and obey the Creator. The next 6 terms of how we're supposed to love our neighbors as ourselves. To get the detail of the next 6 terms of how to love your neighbor as yourself is listed in Exodus 20:12 to Exodus 17. So what does it mean to love your neighbor as yourself? Well, once you get to know the Creator's commandments, statutes, and judgments, don't do towards your neighbor that you'll do towards yourself. In the biblical context, when the Almighty was shouting down the 10 commandments, by the time he got off to the 10th commandment, he was rudely interrupted by Israel and the mixed multitude, because the words of the Almighty gave Israel and the mixed multitude a cardiac arrest seizure of tears. And then they begged Moses to talk to the Almighty, and whatever the Almighty tell them, we promise that we will obey.
Honor your father and mother. Then you will live a long, full life in the land the Lord your God will give you. Do not murder. Do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not testify falsely against your neighbor, do not covet your neighbor's house, do not covet your neighbor's wife, male or female servant, ox or donkey, or anything else your neighbor owns. When the people heard the thunder and the loud blasts of the horn, and when they saw the lightning and the smoke billowing from the mountain, they stood at a distance, trembling with fear. And they said to Moses,
"You tell us what God says, and we will listen. But don't let God speak directly to us. If He does, we will die."
"Don't be afraid,"
Moses said,
"for God has come in this way to show you His awesome power. From now on, let your fear of Him keep you from sinning."
As the people stood in the distance, Moses entered into the deep darkness where God was. And the Lord said to Moses, "Say this to the people of Israel, you are witnesses that I have spoken to you from heaven."
The Creator holds Israel's, their priests, and kings to the highest standard of obedience and behavior to the Torah. Remember, if an Israelite sins by lying, God will punish that Israelite for that sin. However, if a priest or king sins that same lie, the priest and king will suffer more divine punishment than the average Israelite.